playing Survivor. I was more comfortable today, throughout this game day, than I have ever been since we hit the beach. Stuff is happening, and I'm very happy that it's happening. So, first, I want to give props to Taste for having the idea to sort of take our little scheming public, at least giving y'all kind of a view as to what it is we're doing here. Yeah, what you saw in the Jalapeno Popper Alliance, that is what is going on. And I do want to make a couple things clear about how I see this. The planning was excellent. Like, I felt confident the entire time. At no point was I managing Taste. At no point was I kowtowing. I thought sometimes I had better ideas. I thought sometimes Taste had better ideas. We both had different ways of approaching it, different things we wanted to get out of it, but that mantra that he pinned up at the top was true. We just wanted to get to 4 with minimal incident and harm. I will say this. What I think I learned through playing both this game of Survivor and the one with Mafia was I actually started them very similarly. I can't quite recall who... No, I do remember who it was. I started an alliance with Deadbeat Dad right off the bat, and then we immediately started one with both Murmur Twin and Spokes. So it was a similar situation, and then we folded them together. I can't quite remember how we did it, but I think that's not the best way to go. I think, honestly, what you do is you establish a 2, and then you just find another 2. Because here's the problem. There is another version of perception going on around right now. Because the way I kind of view Survivor is that there is not some ultimate truth, right? The truth that I'm sitting on right now is that Taste and I are in fucking control. We have everything we possibly need. We have the idols. We have a connection. We're not at risk of being a boot. And that is a truth. But it's not the truth. So Survivor is a game of, like, parallel processes and parallel perceptions. I am on this perception of Taste and Chili doing this thing, but the things that are out there that are variables, again, Elgen and Jose are talking. They have to be talking. Jose has an immense amount of control here. We gave him information that we did not give to Elgen, and all Jose has to do is open his mouth and try to parlay it. Now, the question is, does his parallel bit of perception and process get in the way of ours? And I don't think it does. I think the worst case scenario, if we assume that, let's assume that Elgen and Jose are 100% lockstep like Taste and I, which, by the way, is remote. I don't think that's the case, but we have to assume that it's there, and maybe it is. If they are in lockstep, who cares? So now all we've really done is solidified another 2, and now we have a 2 and a 2, and really it's to no one's best interest to go against the interest of this 4, because at least we have a 4. Now, the other parallel part of this process is, well, what's going on with the other 4? What are they doing? And that kind of brings us around to those questions that I got posed. The first one being, well, let's go with the second one. The second question was, what is my opinion on the other alliance members, or not, the other tribe members, rather. That being Drake, Toaster, Sally, and Chaos. And I say again, pretty much nothing. Drake likes my cat. That is about as much as I've got. Drake likes my cat. Seems to like me just fine. We chatted audio, prior to the chat for the challenge on Wednesday. That was it. We just talked for a little bit. But, like, again, nothing strategy-wise. Nothing strategy-wise with anybody. The only thing I really did with Drake was I mentioned to her offhand that, 90% of the Survivor games, especially recently, happen in Discord, not in the thread, because she told me she followed the last one in the thread, which meant she had no idea what it was any of us were really up to, because Discord's where the fucking party is, right? So, what do I think? I think Drake is probably the person I like the most, but clearly is naive. Toaster is a giant mystery. Chaos and Sally was nice when I first talked to him, and Chaos has been dismissive. So, the easy boots remain Chaos and Sally. I think it's just going to come down to, like, honestly, it's going to probably come down to who Elgen and Jose want more. I'd prefer to let them steer it than have us steer it. So that's my perspective on the other people in this tribe. And that really is that I just don't have much to say about any of them still. Kind of wish I did, but boy, I mean, the chats, I swear, the chats for all of them are. It's just one back and forth, maybe two, and it's maybe a page. And so, look, I say again, what is the process for them? What is their perception? What's going on while I'm doing this? What are they doing? I think they're doing nothing. At worst, they're conspiring. And they've somehow suckered in either Jose or Elgen. I don't see it. Like, why? Why would it be them over us? It doesn't make sense. So I don't think that's an issue. Could be, but I don't think it is. So that's my perception of them. Now, how am I playing this one different from how I played the last one? Honestly, the big thing, I'm the alpha of this tribe. Like, that's the perception of me anyway. I was the spy master. I talk the most. I've talked the most to everyone. I'm kind of calling the shots, and I kind of wanted to do that. If there was a way to be some kind of like voted on leader, I don't expect it would be a very difficult discussion. People would probably just point to me. I think that's for a couple reasons. One, I played the game before. People know I played the game before. And two, I've actually talked to everybody. And I've tried to sort of push things, along. And three, of course, was the challenge, which, I took the pressure spot and I, won the challenge. And, by the way, all that smack talk at Tribal, ignore that shit. Like, we might have gotten a good board, but you don't win 3 games of Codenames in a row because you're lucky, spokes. Okay, that's not how it works. We outplayed the other team. That's just what happened. And that's not just because of me. That was my team intuiting everything fucking perfectly. Like, I don't know if you were watching my stream and the chat, but, like, the amount of times I dropped a code and then immediately, boom. So, anyhow, no feelings about that, but whatever. So yeah, I just, again, what happened today was finally something that required a bit of maneuvering. The lesson that I've learned is that it's probably not best to start off with these 2-3 alliances that you then have to merge together. It's tough. It's tricky, and by the way, you're opening yourself up. You're vulnerable. Again, Elgen, Jose, if they're not talking, I'd be surprised. I hope they are. And I really don't care if they become like a 1 and 2, because I don't think that screws us up very much. So, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling calm. I'm feeling like I want to play this game more because there's actually stuff to do. And the next task at hand is trying to push our way to 7-1. I think Jose is right. I think tomorrow is going to be an all hands on deck, double tribal craziness with, each tribe having to vote off someone. Sucks that that's going to have to happen, but it's going to give us a chance to actually, test the strength of this thing that we built, see how it goes. So we'll see how it goes. And I'm hopeful that we'll get there. We really want a 7-1 here. It's so important. It's so important. Because we're going to be going down to, what is it now? 7 versus 5, right? I don't know what the numbers are on that, but if you assume like a random distribution, like it's incredibly likely, at least, that no one's going to be in a total piss poor position, at a swap where the numbers are against them. I'm not quite sure how that breaks down, but if we can keep 7-1 and go into the swap pretty tight and strong, merge feels pretty fucking likely at this point, and that's my goal. I just want to make it to merge. I want to sit on the jury. That's it. I mean, beyond that, I'll be thrilled, but I want to sit and have a lounge at Ponderosa. That's what I want. We'll go further than that if we can. So, optimistic about the future of the game. There's actually stuff happening. Looking forward to challenge tomorrow. Tomorrow on Monday. And I think the big thing now is who's the 5, if there is a 5, or do we just sort of organically each pick a person and try to move the vote onto either Chaos or Sally? My hope is that we don't expand the alliance. It's going to get too fucking confusing for me. Like, if we just have like 2 or 3 more of these with more people and more layers of the onion, I'll get lost. So I'm hopeful that we'll just sort of, in small pockets, push for for either Chaos or Sally through the rest of the tribe. And we'll see how that goes. But for now, fucking Survivor, right? Fun to play. There you go.